Welcome back, Briar Rose Brigade, to my gothic grotto. This is Thorn, I use he, him, his, and this is Ban, Banros, my co-goat. He also uses he, him, his, and we are on episode 9, I think. You'll find out in the title sequence of the Midnight Ballroom podcast. I was scared to take a sip while humming the title sequence to myself because I would lose my place and then I'd be dancing for too long. Have to edit it or something. Anyway, oh, by the way, I'm using my mermaid mug from Cracker Barrel. And I also have my mysterious mist moose as the auxiliary mug, the big blue glazed one with the white outline of the moose. Small horned creature, big horned creature. Even though, in this form, relatively there. The moose is smaller than my goat, even though he is very tiny. Oh, Banros, my co-goat, is a beanie baby goat with like a greenish rainbow on his fur and sparkly horns and hooves. That's what you need to know about him, and he's very cute. And speaking of visual image descriptions, I am wearing a thing I crocheted, sort of a tunic. It has this spider web type of mesh stitch. And like one of those, you know, like the poet shirt or the medieval men's shirt, that kind where it has the V-neck with the lace up bit. I love that style, and that is what I did for this with the red cord, and the rest of it is in various shades of red and brown yarn, and there's some purple roses that I crocheted and added on. So it's not all in spiderweb stitch, it's kind of like in a picot stitch. There are drapey sleeves, and yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to wear it by itself anytime soon, but my chest is not considered necessary to be hidden anymore. Thanks, top surgery. So yeah, I opened the window and then I had to close it because I was cold. Now it's open a crack, but I'm like, now I need to open it again. This is not the absolute softest yarn, so I wouldn't be. I don't usually wear it just by itself, but I was like, I don't feel like wearing a shirt. And I want to be fancy. I had so much fun being fancy for the bonus episode that I did, where I unboxed some yarn and read some tarot cards. That's in my bonus vids playlist. And I had fun doing a bit more editing and getting dressed up and stuff, and just like being a bit more, like having more of a stage presence. Like, not that I don't have a stage presence here, but it's all a bit more chill. I was trying to still be me, but like the version of me that's like a lot, I guess, but in a good way. So, oh, and I also loved having my ring light in a different color than its usual warm off-white, so that's why it's currently blue. It's like it just makes me feel a bit more like I'm in the type of place that I want to be. Like my gothic grotto is my sanctuary right now, but it's could be better. I'm gonna be working towards being able to move out of my parents' place in the next little bit. Get financially independent, all of that. So I guess that brings us to updates, but I feel like we need a coffee break first because there's a lot. I've already described my mug, so I'm just gonna drink it. Drink half that mug. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to take a moment and drink a long swig of coffee. May or may not edit that, but if I don't, thanks for taking that moment with me. So I guess the slightly more negative side of things first. Pardon me. As I always say, I don't like sharing too much of the not fun side of my life on here, and I never want the viewers to feel like they're doing the emotional labor for me. Like, I don't want to trauma dump on you. I know how that feels, and I want you to be able to just like have fun and relax as you hang out here. But I think it helps me to feel like I can have at least some spaces where I can be a little bit more honest about things. Not to be rude or like completely drag people or like I don't want to be unprofessional, if that makes sense, even though that this is a pretty casual thing. But I am hoping to make it part of my, content creator brand. But anyway, with that caveat, I will say that I've been having a hard time the last not few months, but like over a year. It's off and on, but like since leaving my ex and moving back in here to my parents' house, just been pretty tough for reasons I've talked about before, and I realized a couple days ago that I am struggling not just with... I can hear something outside, like someone's doing something, and I don't know if it's picking up. So, it is 10:50 p.m. at night. People should not be doing loud things outside. But anyway, so like I knew I'd been dealing with burnout and trying not to make it worse as I'm doing all these things that do take a lot of energy. That word's hard to say because I stutter, but I finally kind of put a name to the other feeling, which is depression. And like I've like I know what that is. I've had it before, but since like I was kind of seeing the symptoms, but thinking, well, this is situational. I know what's causing it, so it's not quote unquote real. But of course, it is real, and it's still a thing. So like, um, that has kind of felt like fighting an uphill battle to do the things I need to do to be able to move out while also feeling this way, because being in this situation makes me feel this way. It's kind of a catch-22, but thinking about what I really want to do and pursuing that has helped a lot and given me more energy and hope and happiness. And the past couple of meetings I've had with my local branch of the SBDC, I finally gotten their initials right, but I don't know what they stand for. Small business something. They're a nonprofit. I think funded by the government, and they help people who don't have access to like generational wealth or business school, stuff like that. And the people I've met with so far have been amazing. And I was afraid they'd all be like old white men that didn't really get my struggles, or just people that are more privileged and just like don't always see that there are barriers other people face, or sometimes they're like, what, that's horrible, you should talk to someone about that, this isn't right. And I'm like, yes, you are right, but I don't have the energy to do that. So we just have to deal with things as they are and kind of make the best of it. And when I talk to other people who are marginalized in either the same or different ways than I am, a lot of times they get it, and I don't have to waste that extra. I don't have to spend time on educating them and like explaining the way the system doesn't always work for me or for other people. I mean, this is just sort of a thing that has happened in my life, or that I've heard other people talking about. So I was just like, well, what if that happens? Thankfully, it didn't. All of the of the 3 people I've met or will meet with, I don't think a single one of them is a white man. And like, nothing wrong with white men. It's just like, I'm more confident that these people will get it and like get some of the struggles I might face, even though like, yes, I am a white man, but I'm trans, I'm poor, I'm disabled, I guess is the right word, neurodivergent, I stutter, yeah. So, and besides that, they have all been very very friendly, very competent. I'm looking forward to the one that I'm meeting tomorrow. That's more for the business side of things, by which I mean the paperwork, like what does your business qualify as, and how do you file for this and this, and like the admin stuff. Excuse me. And the meeting today that I had, and the previous one was the intake meeting, and we went through what am I doing and what do I want to focus on. So the meeting today was with the marketing consultant, and I was most looking forward to that one, and kind of nervous too, because I know it's what I need and don't know as much about. So oh my god, I had so many tips from her that I had to write down. I have strategies for Instagram and YouTube now. What? I'm like, Snek business is continuing. I'm Snek is my nickname for reasons. I showed her last time, but this is my completed amigurumi Snek scarf. Not wearing her right now, but she's made of black and red yarn, and she is very mysterious, and she's gonna go hang out on my bed frame now. So I call my content creation and Etsy and all of that my Snek business. Like in my notes and stuff, I'm like, okay, here's what I need to do next for Snek business. And I was talking to my friend tonight, and they were like, I just imagined a little Snek wearing a top hat and a monocle. I was like, yes. Sorry for anyone who's bothered by hissing. So I will probably be starting a third YouTube channel because I need to be laser focused if I'm wanting to make money with it, I think. So I will be starting a specific crochet YouTube channel, and I'm still doing this one and the other one. They have different purposes in my life. I was thinking about this earlier with my blog too, and that has a different purpose. Like, it is my WordPress blog, Starstruck Awanid, is more, it's a space where I can just like post a poem that I wrote and not give any commentary, or go really deep into my experiences as a pagan and a witch and like a devotee of my patron god Gwyn Apanid, and talk about my other god experiences and spirit work and stuff. And I know that the type of people who tend to read that are like, that's what they're there for, and they're sort of well versed in that, or they don't mind the fact that I'm going deep there. Whereas here I want to like give a bit more of an intro first if I talk about that, or there's some things that are harder to talk about because they're super weird and witchy and pagan, and I mean, they're fun to talk about sometimes, but yeah. Also, the advantage of writing is that I don't stutter. So I do love telling verbal stories, but it's nice sometimes to not have to deal with that disability sometimes. Because I'm always thinking about it, even if you can't tell. So it's just extra work in my brain. I keep wanting to lean my elbow here, but I don't know if that will make a sound or make my voice louder. So let me know how the sound is, because I had someone tell me that it was a bit soft before, so I made an effort in the bonus video to speak louder and like not edit the sound down, because I don't like loud sound, so I might not be the best judge. Also, I listen to things with headphones because my speakers aren't the best. So oh yeah, so third YouTube channel. I am thinking about what to name it. I don't think I'm going to say yet. I think I have an idea, but I want to talk to the networking person, the marketing person first. We're gonna meet weekly, I guess, which is amazing. Like, wow, this is help, and this is so much help, but also follow up. What? That's amazing. So that is why this organization gets a glowing gets glowing praise from me every time, and I'll link them down below, the SBDC. But so just checking the time. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to just do one episode, like one part this time, around 40 something, because it's not so much that the editing gets to me, but the closed captioning when I'm doing several videos that long is just really hard. And I want to do it, but it's a lot. So, anyway. So, my... what was I talking about? The person that I was talking to, the marketing person, I'm gonna see them next week, and I'm gonna tell them what I think I want my channel name to be. Right, what I was gonna say was, a fun game would be guessing what it is down in the comments below. And I especially want to shout out a very dear friend via... Actually, what I wanted to say was, raise your hand if your name is Vivian, and you were going to say something like Crow Gay for Gwen 5 ever XOXO, which is awesome. Like, that is the vibe. Yes, probably not going to be the official name, probably. Like, you know, there's a chance, but probably not. But I am gay for Gwen though, so yes. Also happy vacuuming, Vivian. There's your personal shout out on the Thorn Show. Vivian is a good friend of mine and has helped me so much in many ways. So yeah. And speaking of friends and goats, my chosen brother Brian, I will probably be seeing them at the end of the month, and I'm really happy about that. They live up in San Francisco and I'm in LA, so it's a ways. I mean, we're in the same state, but still. But I booked an Airbnb earlier tonight, and I'm like, wow, yeah, I'm gonna make this happen. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary of my initiation into the Vicaro path, which is a path based on... It's based in this specific pagan tradition known as modern Minoan paganism, and it's not really based in lore or history, at least not as much as just directly talking to the gods and spirits that we work with and honor. So I have told about my Vicaro path in a previous episode 3. So yeah, I'm really happy that I'll get to go see them again and their family, because, well, I do want to move up there and just be closer to them and some other chosen family, but their house felt like home to me for the first time in a long time. And it felt safe, which is huge for me right now, so yeah. So, right. Banros's name actually came from the Vicaro path, kind of. So that's a teaser for you. So, and right. So, speaking of fun things about social media and marketing and stuff, one of the goddesses that I follow, I know her as Inanna or Ishtar. She's also known as, well, to me, she's also the Sun Mother in the Minoan path, whose name is Terasia. But she's helping me a lot with social media type things, like just in encouraging me and giving me ideas. And she had already gotten me back to posting, at least on my personal account, on Instagram at least every few days. And so I feel like she kind of prepped me for the fact that I'm going to be posting a lot on the Thirst Pixels account. That's my Etsy shop. And it's really funny because today I was watching one of the talks from this really good channel, Digital Hammurabi. I'll link them down below, as well as the specific talk that I'm about to mention. It's gender in ancient Mesopotamia. So they explore different topics from an academic and historical perspective, which, like, you know, it's not from a devotional or pagan lens, but it's really cool to like see things from different angles and just see what the history and scholarship seems to tell us. And it's really cool when it kind of correlates with things that you've experienced in your personal path or personal experience with these gods. So anyway, the gender in Mesopotamia one, I was a little bit hesitant, as I always am, you know, as a trans person with these things, but it's really good so far. I'm about halfway through, and they're talking about Inanna or Ishtar, basically same different names for the same goddess. They're talking about her a lot, as well they should, because she seems to be heavily involved in gender stuff. And I didn't know that in the lore, like, she's got all this almost non-binary gender fluid stuff going on. Like, she's like, yeah, I'm the woman who does this. I'm the man who does this. And it's like, whoa, that's so cool. And she, besides that, oh, and I just got to the part where the speaker calls Inanna a gender wizard, and I love it. I think that's related to her. Like, there's this line about her turning men into women and women into men, and I'm like, well, if that doesn't sound like an ancient idea of trans people, or some similar idea. I don't know if they would have used that word, but like, so. Oh, sorry. My sister's cat just got up on the piano, which is up. It's a really tall piano. It's like behind there, but they're up there. That's what that was. Anyway, so Inanna, the gender wizard, right? That'll be one of my favorite epithets for her now, and I love that they said wizard because it's a male associated word, and that's just more gender fluid non-binary stuff for her, or at least gender non-conforming. And some other things they've said, which made me feel extremely called out, were that she was the... Okay, now he's on this really tall hutch thing, bit of furniture that goes almost up to the ceiling, which is like 10 feet tall. The cats like to get up there and perch and just like look, survey their domain. Anyway. So, apparently, according to this scholar, who's not a pagan, as far as I know, or at least in his capacity as a scholar and not any kind of spiritual person, Inanna is a goddess of social networking. And I thought about my experiences with her on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, I know. Not just Instagram, but just like I feel like this will make more sense once I say the other thing that they said in the talk, which was she's also a very... Okay, sorry about that. The cat came over to investigate, and I had to encourage him to jump down, which he did. That sounds ominous. I just shook the water bottle that I keep, the spray bottle that I keep down here, just in case, because I don't have walls or a door. Just in case the cats don't think that I actually mean it when I say stay out. So, anyway. So, the other thing he said was, she's a very career-driven goddess. And I was like, yeah, I knew that she went and got the trades and skills from her relative, I think, in one of the texts, and brought them back. And I've heard that in really ancient times, it was often the sun goddess who was the giver of skilled trades and crafts. And that made sense out of a odd bit of gnosis I had gotten a really long time ago that I thought was just random. This goddess that I know by this other name, I didn't know she was Inanna. This goddess I know by this other name just seems to have this thing where she's all about entrepreneurship and getting people into jobs and trades and learning crafts and sort of the business world, like especially empowering people who have social barriers. That's cool, but it seems very modern and just kind of like it would be a thing that I would care about, but not a general pagan thing or from the ancient world. Then I read about Inanna going to get all the skills, like the arts and crafts and trades, from her godly relative, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, so coffee break. And I have felt her very much in my career path, sort of helping me find out what I want to do, how I want to feel in a job, and just illuminating the way, kind of like the sun. So that's fun. What else? Oh yeah, before we run out of time, I want to show you some fun new crochet projects that I'm doing. First, I forgot to show the Tarlin graph can. trying to move. I have to get her from under my desk, so I'm not going to talk for a minute in case I have to scooch the volume down. Okay, I forgot to show this in the bonus vid, and I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget this time. Yes, it's her face and choker so far. Well, not all of it. There's a dangly thing on her choker. It's going to be a butterfly pendant, but she's looking good so far. For a while, I lost one of the skeins of yarn that I was using. Straight up misplaced it, and I was like, well, I have similar colors, but they don't look quite the same. What do I do? And Gwen told me to just set it aside for a minute. Then I found it, the skein of yarn, so that was nice. And I'll be making the other 2 Graphgans that I talked about in my bonus video. But I'm still waiting for the premiere yarn. I tracked the package a couple days ago, and it's at like a FedEx center. So like, I could start the Gwen one, but I also really want to do the mermaid one, which actually makes me think of Inanna, the mermaid Graphgan. So I kind of feel like, oh, it's my mom and dad, because Sun Mom and, I don't know, Gwen, besides being his god spouse, I also have like a father-son relationship with him, and like a lot of complicated different ways of relating to each other, which are really beautiful but hard to explain. But the actually new crochet projects that I have, I've started a new world kind of genre of project, a niche, I guess. So as you know, I love this type of shirt, which is like the poet shirt. But I was thinking, oh man, I guess I'll have to sew it if I want some in my wardrobe, because I want to make my own, but I don't like sewing. So then this little bird whispered to me, and by bird I do mean Cordellos. One of the Minoan faces of Gwen. His name means lark, so you know, bird. So one of my gods basically was like, hey, no one else has crocheted a poet shirt pattern, at least that I can tell. There might be, but you don't usually see that in the crochet world. So I was like, well, that sounds like a niche to me. And so I'm working on a couple of different patterns. This is just with yarn I had lying around, especially this one. I had several nameless balls of orange yarn. I don't know where they're from. Might be from my friend up in San Francisco, a different one. But they were stashing some yarn and gave them to me. But this is going to be, I think I'm going to call it Pumpkin Moonlight. And this is one of the front panels, and I'm learning cabling for this. And it's like this cable and then a braided cable, and it looks like a pumpkin, like with the orange and the kind of texture. And this upper shoulder panel is the paired double crochet stitch, except I think this one is all treble crochet instead of double. So I learned several new stitches for this, so that's cool. Then I also made what I think will be a vest, because I can't, it's even scratchier than this, and I don't want to wear it on my skin. But it is made with Wool Ease Lion Brand Thick and Quick. I think it's in this Celebration colorway. Anyway, it's this white yarn with a sparkly rainbow strand through it. I love sparkles. So I think this upper panel, again, this is the front panel. This lower part is the paired double stitch, the paired double crochet, I believe, and then the upper panel is a bunch of V stitches, I think. So I guess it's kind of similar because the paired double and the V stitch are very similar. But I wanted it to not be too complicated, but also like not be completely random. And as I'm making a second draft of these, which is a great idea for my crochet channel, just to, people love pattern tutorials, so I'm probably going to put out some of those, and I think that will help me grow that channel. But as I'm kind of refining these patterns, I may not keep everything the same, but I want to just go ahead and commit to something and try it out, and then I can do a different thing if I want to, because this way I actually grow my wardrobe and have fancy clothes that I want to wear, so that's cool. For this one, the orange one, I think I'm going to add some little black details, like crochet over maybe this section of linked. Oh, that's the back. Linked treble, which I think looks kind of plain compared to the rest. I might crochet a pattern of black yarn, just maybe zigzagged or something over it, and I might do one of my crochet roses on it, or just things like that can spice it up. And that way, this ridge, which is supposed to be straight out, it's one of those stitches where you crochet a line of single crochet in the back loop only, then you turn it around and you crochet another line of single crochet in the loop that you didn't crochet before, so it branches out. Like, then you just keep on going, but there's an extra ridge going out. It's kind of like a more 3D version of the slip stitch, but it's wanting to like tilt upward. So I think if I did even if I don't keep this part in the pattern, like for this specific one, I want it to look out. For this specific garment, I want it to look outward. So that if I'm anchoring the stitches in these posts, I can hopefully pull it down a bit if I do the black zigzag thing. I hope that made sense. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before I have to end this. Oh yeah, you can't see my window, but earlier I saw the crescent moon right outside above the neighbor's roof, and I hadn't noticed that it was there before. But it's kind of fun because I have a couple of gods I'm very close to. They're Gwyn and one of his faces, the Minoan moon god, Minos, who I associate with the moon, and so, and I have this kind of bantering relationship with them or him. It's complicated. But I was like, oh, oh, I see you out there, check 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 checking me out while I'm pod podcasting. I mean, it's not there right now, but earlier I was like, watching you. um, it's so fun to have a patron god who seems to really love having that joking banter with me and like encouraging me to not just cower in fear but just like play with him. That's fun, and it feels a lot more healthy than what I grew up with. So I'm wondering if Banros has anything that he wants to say. I can't wait to find out what he said when I'm editing this video in post. So, yeah, I think that I will let you go. Wish me luck with all the business Snek things, and with figuring out how to make wearables that that like fit the way I want them to, because I found out that as much as I love lace, I need to focus on structure right now of a garment, and because that's my weak point, and then I can go back to lace and stuff. And also wish me luck finishing the Tarlin Grafcan, because I'm on row 35 or something, and there are like over 100. I have 2 more Grafcans I want to do. Just like listing my prayer request. No, not that, but like good vibes, spooky, witchy vibes are always nice. Anyway, thanks for watching, and let's dance again at the next midnight.